Mary a little bit.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Show for the red road to your into show. I got for the red road.
Bruh. I don't know where to give this,
Jim, look at my locker road. I got for the red road, bro. The red thing going to.
Find this stuff.
Back, you bastard! Didn't have the guts to fuck me.
I'm gonna get on YouTube in a minute.
Kill you.
See if anybody else found it.
To taste a life, to embrace its most intimate secret.
Oh, you traded with him.
Such a burden, such a device.
Ah, that's what
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I apologize, nurse. I needed some time to myself. This has been the longest and strangest night of my life.
You delivered poor Mr. Hampton from a terrible fate. The means to that end should be of little concern, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse.
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you.
Find the second floor and your name on the door.
Isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane.
Welcome
to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Thank you, Nurse Crane. Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to
Go on.
admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man,
Look
she would be a...
like Jeremy trying to make his plans over there. I heard you Jeremy over there. Hey, go Jeremy.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve. But I must admit, he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's not exactly the best situation in London either. I can't have expected this hospital to be prepared for what was to come.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research. This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin. William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now. If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. What about my thirst for blood?
Hurry now, Doctor. It's freezing here.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
Nurse, this room is off limits, and I'd prefer to keep it that way. Make sure the rest of the staff are so informed.
Of course, Doctor. And what about the antiseptics? Or do I inform the staff that you're too busy?
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drug shortage was a daily problem.
Hello?
We had to use our wits to overcome the
Hello?
shortages.
However, do
I say
you
Secret
mean?
Service.
If
Secret
combined
Service?
correctly, certain
I say Secret
household
Service.
chemicals...
Yeah.
Why you ain't respond when I said Secret Service?
No, when you say Secret Service, I said what?
Space is luxury we don't have.
I ain't hear no what.
Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Nah.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
Secret Service?
It's the large building
Yes,
behind
sir.
the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Alright. Get a key. I got a key. Let's go downstairs. Going downstairs. Where other way around. Come on. Yeah.
Kyle, you on a night shift part?
I'm on chopper too.
Scowl voices in the garden.
I think I am too. Are you
I
on?
should
That's the night
investigate.
shift part, huh?
If they were to find somebody.
Alright, well, alright. You gonna have to trade with this doctor. You gotta find a watch, and I think you gotta find a watch or something, and you trade it with the doctor or something.
Yeah, I got a key from the doctor too. The nurse. What was it? Something.
You know, alright, so what you gotta do, what I figured out is that you have to, I just got another hint.
Come on. Alright, now. Now I got 3 hints in here.
Bro, you gotta get a lot of doggone hints, bro.
Yes, bro. Not different. You gotta find the other hints in here, bro. Or you gotta find one more outside. And one in here. I'm walking around, so I'm finding it. I know it's in here somewhere.
Dang.
Alright. Find something.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop.
Huh.
Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Got that.
This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Alright, got a key. Alright.
Dang.
I gotta find it.
Hey, this dude is pretty wise, man.
Oh, downstairs. Alright. Level 4, not there.
Then what the hell do I need?
It's in here. Find it.
Solution. There is.
No, not here.
Bro, I don't. What? Bro, what do I need from him, bro? Wait. Hold up. Reset. Wait. I think okay, hold up. I think I might have figured out what I need from him. Hold up. I need to go, let me go back into my room. I think I might know what I need from him. Create the treatment for... Hold up. Alright, hold up. Treatments.
Walk around.
Okay, now what do I need the sodium. I think I need sodium from him, right? Sodium. It's sodium. Do we have sodium? I need sodium for me to create this. Alright. Cal, you at the are you at the night shift part where you have to create some type of formula?
Yeah, I gotta find one. I gotta find them.
No, you ain't gotta find one. You have to collect a whole bunch of stuff.
I know, I'm in the same building using. I'm right in. I got key. I got a key. Go in there.
What the hell?
You gotta go in the same building and get the stuff in the same building.
Wait.
And you gotta go to the basement and get it. Get all the stuff in the basement.
Well, where is old? Wait, did he just? Bro, I know homie ain't just packed. Oh. Alright, hold up.
Hold on. Upstairs. Oh. Basement. Alright, down basement. Let's go.
These skulls feed from corpses.
I have a few hints from some of the other doctors. Okay, I need Alright, so I need sodium.
Come on.
From him.
Come on. Come on. Now. Open this door.
Alright, so I need sodium.
It's locked. It's locked.
So I went and got the sodium.
All right.
Keep going the wrong way. Hey, I'm glad that we can free run though.
The report. I'd better look into this.
Alright, so come over here. Create. Boom. Alright, so what I need to do, bring the medicine to Dorothy Kane. I'm not gonna find Dorothy.
These skulls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without the...
Alright.
Coming.
Nah, I need one, two more go.
Where's Dorothy?
Blood is so tempting.
Down here, fool.
Oh, here she go.
Oh, no.
Thought she would've moved.
Yes, bro. Come on. Oh, hold on, yo. Okay. Guess what? No. Is it? No. Take this one. Go ahead. No. Alright. I got found. There we go. Okay. Oh, there you go. No. Oh. Trying to find other one. Man, two in the building. Alright, I'm not going back in the building. Let's go. Alright. Oh, hey, sir. Hey, sir. Hey, stay with me. Hey.
Alright,
Not here. No, no. Oh.
alright, so who I need to go talk to?
Cool. I'm sure. It's upstairs?
Oh, I gotta go talk to old dude.
Yeah, I know. No, not there. No.
Alright, I think I gotta go talk to old dude in his office right here.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. What? No. You get the. Alright. Blah, blah, blah. Extra here. Number 6, number. See. Okay. Alright, now I gotta find where. I walk around, I gotta find. Got my over here walking around and shit, bro. Hold on. No, I wanna go back to her. Trying to wait. Hold on.
Hey, Kyle.
Yo,
Once you get to this old dude's office, there's a couple notes that you can grab. Alright, so I gotta go outside and talk to the other nurse.
yeah, I did, and then you go something like that.
No, no, I just got past the office little part now.
Mhm.
I gotta come out here and talk to old girl
Hold on.
to do like some type of supply runs or something like that.
Find it out the case of the bed. That's what I'm doing. And nights, find using blah blah something. I'm walking around. Hold on, where I go? Oh, to the hold on. But
The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient...
I'm talking to the girl now, Cal.
Then, he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made
Cal.
an egregious error. It's
I'm
time
gonna
we
try to
talk.
talk to
You know this is not a fact. I know, Christopher. Collect your money and
It's
release your
locked.
cars. So is now a good time to talk? Not really. How you gonna drive you on using them pretty hands? I use my elbows. Is this your son? You guys are so alike. It's real cute. It's so hard to find a man who's good with kids. Great. What y'all up to tonight? Yeah, we all going to Flanagan's tonight. You should come with us. Ernest coming too. Man, I ain't going nowhere with y'all. Yeah, there's a deal, Bernice. You should set a good example for the child.
Man.
Balls of Mars, fortifiers.
I got one.
As popular as they are ineffective, but they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Yeah, now I'm gonna go outside. Find the other one.
Oh! Oh my God, it's on me now. Alright, I'll play this shit for another couple. Let me see what I got. I don't know that stuff. She moved back with her boy, with her baby daddy and her grandma. She moved. She didn't tell me.
Reads me like a book. Good evening, sir. I never could keep anything.
She said that it was bad. She had an argument with her mama. She got her own place. She got her own place, but I don't know if she really. Hey, hold up. Whose phone is this? She argued with her mama. She wanted me to meet her mama, but I texted her and asked her how bad was it. She haven't responded.
I have wasted too much energy for so little result.
No, she was with her. She was staying at her mom's house. You know what I'm saying? When her car was acting up and stuff like that.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst
Hey, yo,
the
bro, I'll
staff
be right
and
back.
patients.
I gotta
You're
get some.
running out of everything.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
How long have you been a nurse?
Or long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of
Pretty
man
Fatal
who's
is
bothered
in the
about a
gym
bad
bar.
reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Goodbye, nurse.
Bro, dude got a bug on his head, bro. Why he talking to the people, bro?
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
I'm watching Count Live right now. See what
Your name has no
Bro, I want
meaning
to talk to
me,
people right now.
mortal.
Start them.
You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well,
Alright,
tonight
so
maybe I'm inclined to mercy.
let me see where I gotta
You'll
go.
never forget the night you met Thelma
So I
Houghton.
have to go.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Is it her?
I don't know, bro.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patient
Dang, Jeremy.
delusional. They believe a ghost or a ghoul. Or in your case...
No, you should.
Delusional, you say? Ugh, sad and petty.
Yeah. Tell your girl, you see, you better sleep.
And you think it is I who am delusional?
Tell your girl you already cheating. No, you always tell your girl you cheat on you. Yeah. Tell her you cheat on you. Yeah, cause man, this is what I'm doing. I'm on you, word. Yeah, do it again. Do it. I'm telling you. Oh, yeah. Girl. Okay, something wrong. You ain't that girl. Ooh, got ooh. Oh shit.
Bring the wallet to its owner.
I'll leave you, mistress of the...
Wait, I brought this. Wait, how you get the watch to her, man?
Hey. Where you at?
You're not the watch.
Good evening.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and
I gotta give the
picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins.
Dude, that's in
Not
this
at all,
room.
Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep...
Hello.
You, Dr. Reed.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Yup. Well. I'm gonna just walk around. Gotta find another clue. Okay.
Like, Kyle, you at that crafting part? Kyle. Kyle. You gotta get different ideas and hints from each other so you can go talk to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
The game will notify you when you got a hint or you have some type of idea or something.
So I need to talk. Oh,
I talk to everybody.
yeah, I need.
I got a few hints. I got a few hints that's leading to old dude that's outside, and that doctor that doesn't like me. They rat in the hospital. I gotta find Hawkins. She should be. Let me talk to him.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure...
Oh, yo, shit, I got my dip. Damn
well,
you.
I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just...
Dip and chip, nigga. Like you, like one of your ex.
Unexpected.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced...
You do my mom business. Shit. Nah.
How are things?
Man, come on, do it. Come on. Come on.
You're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard.
Just gonna quit tapping my phone, bro. Come on, say nothing, leave over. What? Just go hang up, man. Come on, Alright, you, doctor, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something.
An invisible enemy. Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Alright.
Do you think this hospital...
I'm on nothing.
We are all volunteers, and we're trying to hold fast. How do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
All right.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most?
Is there a problem I should know about?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be
No, I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Alright. Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Some of that, bro. Some of them. Okay, I mean, where the head is? In here, somewhere right here, right here. Oh. Alright,
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Doctor?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swans's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Alright.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Come on.
I
don't see any reason why I should justify my actions to you.
That's true, Dr. Reed. The only judge has to be yourself. The question is, are you judging yourself hard enough?
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed.
I know that doesn't stay on my pink one. Got too many counts, man. Good, man.
Aren't you too old for such jealousy? It really won't do you any good, you know.
Don't be ridiculous, Dr. Reed. A simple glance is enough for me to know you have nothing for me to envy.
of stuff. That's some nice information you giving me, brother. Alright, Mr. Hopkins, thank you, brother. On my way to another clue. Alright, so now I gotta find Hawkins. Alright, where's Hawkins? Oh, there she is.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become...
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. Patient, they're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later. Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together. Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir. Thank you. And you are? I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed. What can you tell me about the Pembroke? Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, well, with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time. Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
I'll give you some advice, but understand that nothing beats practical experience, which can be exhausting and solitary work.
Of course, sir. And don't worry, I will never allow myself to be a burden, neither to you nor this hospital.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Like a bull. I never could keep it.
Alright. Jeremy, you doing the same stuff we are right now. Jeremy.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland. And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury.
I'm the same thing, bro.
He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such
Do my last thing, bro. I'm the same thing.
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
No, I ain't find no doctor. Talk to you. What's up with you?
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
Yeah, I need to come be, bro. I want to talk to you.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Yeah, you got to all the doctors in here.
I'm sorry. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something?
He doing something. He must be doing
delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual
You got foreign people who want to get to him.
My young colleague obviously disagrees.
It's like a clue.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry...
That's to the door that you need to go to.
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that.
To the basement.
But I will never be childish and let my personal feelings affect my
You're...
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
Our procedure.
If you are going to lead this surgery, I'm trusting you to assume the consequences of your actions, whatever the result.
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibilities, Dr. Reed. There is no need for you to be looking over my shoulder.
Oh.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Yes, Doctor?
Alright. Tell me something.
Exactly how bad is the supply situation here at Pembroke?
It really depends. Dr. Swansea deftly works his society contacts for money, but with the quarantine, well, we're in God's hands.
Man, you in Gaza, man. You in everything, man. What?
Why then do you always work the nights? Don't you ever sleep?
At the Pembroke, we're always hands on deck.
Your dedication to the Pembroke does you credit, Nurse Crane, but when do you sleep?
We staff get our sleep when we can, Doctor. Nursing is a vocation, not the labor of a journeyman.
Lack of sleep in the medical profession always ends in disaster. I've witnessed many a colleague succumb to stimulants to fight exhaustion. Drugs were as deadly as bullets in the trenches.
London's trenches start here at Pembroke Hospital. We are on the front line, make no mistake.
Please, could you point me in the direction of the morgue again?
It's the large boarded-up building behind the hospital. You can't miss it. The key I gave you will open the small back door to it.
That's all for now, Nurse Crane. Thank you.
Oh. No.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Yeah, I ain't talking to you later. What's going on? What's going on here?
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes, Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Alright, some is. Damn, all the things are. Look.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war,
I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to take, not death itself. Have we met before? I don't think so, sir. Why? When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead. Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Alright.
Do you work here alone? Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open. Why close the hospital's main morgue? It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave. Why do you have to watch these bodies? Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I'm not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidam.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact...
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade. I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Goodbye, Mr. Chidam. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Philip.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed.
I won't lie to you about it.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army, building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't.
Alright, Jason, now I'm over talking to the dude.
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target.
I'm talking to the dude one quick.
Bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
Alright.
I'm
Tell
sorry
me more.
for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that my kids have. Poor little bleeder.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
No. No.
This hospital seems to be falling apart.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'll let you get some rest.
Doctor.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Bro, there's
Not much
another
to say.
doctor out in the yard, bro.
Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all
I
the
didn't even
expenses.
see him right here.
That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes. Thanks to my husband. He rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
Dang, girl, you lying, walking like she lying like a bitch. Jeremy. She lying like a bitch.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Gosling?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Gosling?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Gosling. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Goodbye, Mrs. Gosling.
Hold on, it's upstairs. I know it's in. Hold on.
Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more, unto the breach.
You've nothing to prove, Dr. Tibbets, to anybody. And we all praise your experience.
This man name is Dr. Tibbets, bro.
I am perfectly fine, and I am not too old for this job.
Bro, I got to find Dorothy. What the is Dorothy at, man?
I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
Oh, where is Dorothy at, man?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Bruh, where is Dorothy?
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so
Bro,
many
where did
lives
Dorothy
since
go?
then.
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
I'm on to something, bro.
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks, maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed the body.
Bruh, where did Dorothy go?
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets.
Bruh, I do not know where Dorothy even is, bruh. Bruh, Dorothy got ghosts, bruh. Cal!
What?
What part you on?
It's locked, alright.
Same part you on, bro. I gotta find somebody.
You can't be on the same part I'm on.
What part you on, bro? Chapter 2? Chapter 3?
I'm on chapter 2 still.
Same one.
I gotta find Dorothy.
I'm gonna find the people here.
Bruh, I don't know where Dorothy went, bruh, cause she was inside of the building. Now she's nowhere to be found. Find Nurse Dorothy Kane. Find Nurse. Where the hell would I find that nurse? That's Tibbets right there. Bro, they got to be in cahoots with each other, bro. I don't see them anywhere. I need to see if I can talk to him, but she's in my way. I can't talk to dude right here. I need to know who he is. Here she goes. Really?
Oh, something missing. Oh, I'm talking.
Good evening, sir. Can I help?
Bro, I have to find this doggone nurse, bro. You know what a
No.
nurse was?
I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Oh yeah, got you glitched. You can't go nowhere.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
So Dr. Tibbs never sleeps. Just like old girl right here.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened.
You were an officer.
Bring your tail here.
Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Wait, no, man. Is she over here? Who are you? Oh, fuck. I thought it was old girl. Who are you? Oh, that's Tibbets. Oh, no. I ain't got no good news for you. Oh, wait, no. I do. I got a hint from...
Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here.
That's why I just got a hint.
Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. Her arm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Really?
Goodbye for now, Mr. Albert. Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sure, I must apologize.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the practice. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The wet boot boys are very...
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Doof Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke. Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest, and then I can go back to the people who need me.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later. It's locked. The flower's dying. It needs water. I cannot enter.
Not now. Please come back later.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland. And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help? Goodbye, Dr. Strickland. It's locked.
It's locked, all right.
Mm.